Hi, Jenny.
Hi.
Hi, I'm just gonna do introductions in the video and then I'll lead into you, but I'm gonna hide you in the staging area for now, okay?
Okay.
Hi, everyone, and welcome. We are here at 4 p.m. on the dot for the education and mentorship portion of our virtual day of giving. Our 10-20-20 Day of Giving is a 24-hour virtual event where we celebrate the good work that United Way and our partner agencies are doing in the community. We've had an incredible day so far. And we want to thank everyone who has donated so far. We are so close to hitting our goal. We're definitely like 75% there and nearing the finish line. So we're very excited about that. And just thank you all for those who have donated. And if you've been holding out, waiting for this giveaway that we have coming up on this hour, now's the time to give. We will be going live at the Bloomsburg Children's Museum in just a moment. I did want to mention, too, that we have a live chat. So if you guys want to say hi to us, please do. Let us know your thoughts and feedback. This is a sneak peek of Bloomsburg Children's Museum's newest exhibit, and it's an exclusive. You're only going to get it right here. We are very excited to have the privilege of sharing that. And without further ado, I'm going to go live with Ginny at the Bloomsburg Children's Museum. So Ginny's coming in right now. Oh, Ginny, hold on. I have you. Okay, now go.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you for everyone who has given thus far for this wonderful opportunity that all these amazing organizations that are supported by the Columbia Montour United Way has. The Columbia Montour United Way does amazing things in our communities. When you donate to this fundraiser, you support institutions like the Bloomsburg Children's Museum. This year is our 35th year in existence, and we are super happy to still be here. We are open We reopened when we were allowed to on July 1st, and we have been hosting events and classes and programs, of course with the needed restrictions in terms of social distancing and masking, and we had some plexiglass shields that we invested in so that the kids in our summer camps could still enjoy seeing each other and get a break from their masks and have a lot of fun. Our events, our programs, and the museum itself is supported by the Columbia Montour United Way. As I said before, we've been in existence for 35 years. We are still going strong, even in this unusual year that we've been having. And in fact, the entire 3 months that we were closed, we still were able to serve the community through grants given to us through the Columbia Montour United Way. When we were closed during the pandemic, we offered virtual tours of the museum. We did Facebook Live feeds. We created an entire website with Box of Light Studios here in Bloomsburg, all with educational content and art projects and music and dancing for people to enjoy while they were in that closed down period. We also created about 5,000 STEAM kits, so it's science, engineering, technology, math, and art is in there too for STEAM. And we distributed these kits, over 5,000 of them, to the Columbia Montour counties through Little Free Libraries, through food banks and community centers. And donations like yours helped these programs continue, helped the museum continue, even during the shutdown period of the pandemic. We were able to adjust and do a bunch of virtual things and still serve our community and connect with our community, which is really important to us. So, without further ado, we're going to take a little tour through our newest exhibit here at the museum, and it's not open yet. We are hoping to open it soon, but one of the things that we care about here at the museum is serving our community right here. Of course, we love to welcome visitors from all around the world, but our services area is Columbia Montour County. So our health exhibit is all about you. It's all about your health and what you can do to take charge of your health. It's entitled The Superpower of You. It's superhero themed, and let's take a little walk through it right now. So you'll have to bear with us because we are still in construction mode. Yeah. So one of the features of the exhibit is we're going to have a farm to table part of this exhibit. It's going to take you from the farm, which you see your tractor here, and we're still working on this one. You're going to go from the farm, and then a farmer's market's going to be here, and again, we're still working on that one. And inside the exhibit will be the kitchen table, so it'll take you from the farm to your kitchen table. There's also some other things in here. You'll recognize a fan favorite, Mighty Mouth, who's here, and it has a new home. In the new health exhibit, we're adding some additional interactives that kids can enjoy, as well as mom and dad and grandparents. We are looking at the health risk factors that you can control. Things like your nutrition, your amount of exercise, the amount of sleep that you need. You can see this cool interactive here. That's a big, giant skeleton that you can create your skeleton here. Exercise is an important health benefit. We will be talking about the importance of exercise to your bone and muscle development. There's going to be an interactive here that talks about how to read nutrition labels. My superhero fell down. But there's a new type of nutrition label that was put out by the FDA, and it's going to tell you it's going to be a game. And what we're doing in a lot of this place, you can see we have things taped to the walls, And that's called prototyping. So we kind of see what would fit here, and then we design the exhibit, and then we send it out to our exhibit fabricators, who are volunteers and are wonderful, to actually fabricate the exhibit, and then we'll install it. And in fact, I'm going out to their workshop tomorrow to check on how this one's going. But it's going to be a fun, kind of like a puzzle that you get to learn all about the nutrition labels. This guy is going to tell us, he's a favorite because he has a plunger. He's a superhero with a plunger and tells you to wash his hand. But he's going to tell you all about your digestive system. He's going to tell you about the healthy foods you need to eat to keep your digestive system healthy, and what the effects different foods have on your digestive system. This is also a cool one. And you can see that we have a computer board here, but what's going to be in place of it will actually be a push button control panel. But it's going to be a toilet game. Yes, it is. There's our toilet there. And what this is going to do is talk about foods that are nutrient dense and also calorie rich. So you want to go more on the side of the nutrients and not so many calories. But this is going to be an interactive game that tells you all about that. Over here we have another superhero, and she is our sugar balance superhero. She is going to tell you how much sugar is actually in those drinks that you have. So whether you're going to get a milkshake or a Gatorade or a glass of water, she's going to be able to tell you how much sugar you have in it. We also have, you can see our construction going on here. One of the highlights of our thing is the big brain. Everybody's noticing the big brain as soon as they come into the museum. There's going to be a room underneath the big brain, which is really a mess right now, but we're getting it together, and it's going to tell you all about your brain. It's going to tell you about how much sleep you need, to cut down on the screen time you have, and how your brain works. So that's going to be a lot of fun when we get that done. Now Shelby over here is going to show us another little part of our exhibit, because part of the exhibit is going to talk to us about cardiovascular health. Cardiovascular is all about your heart, and Shelby's going to talk about this one.
So we have our exhibit here that's going to talk about cardiovascular health, and the balls in here represent our blood cells. And if you can hear me over the balls going, the balls can only travel through your heart one way, and if you look over here, they can't go back through. Oh, sorry, I was.
And that's pretty much how your valves work in your heart. So you get to learn about your valves and how they work in your heart. And you can see we're kind of still prototyping this one out because we don't even have the top on it yet, but that's a lot of work, and that's what we do. One of the unique things about the Children's Museum is that the exhibits that we have here are concepted, fabricated, and we're unique. It's all done in-house. We don't farm out things to other exhibit companies. So when you come here, you get something really unique and educational and really important to our area. So we also have a special guest.
Oh, as we're transitioning, I also want to point out the giant piece of artwork done by Sarah Mika, a local artist.
Which is beautiful and health themed.
It's all about how portion sizes have changed and just the good foods you should be eating.
And here we have our special guest all the way from Rohrbach's Farm Market. It's Denise Bosworth, and she's going to talk to us about healthy snacks for fall time.
Thank you guys so much. We're so happy to be here. I'm always love when we get the chance to partner with the Children's Museum and do something fun together. So we're glad to be back on track with that. Josie's going to help me out here today. So we are excited for you guys to come and explore the new health exhibit here at the Children's Museum. What we want to talk about is choosing healthy snacks. And this time of year, any time of year, basically in Pennsylvania, between summertime and into the late fall like this, you have the opportunity to be picking healthy snacks that are grown locally. So today, we're going to focus on apples. So these are fresh apples. They've maybe only been off the tree maybe 2 weeks at the most. They've been in refrigeration. Josie and I washed our hands and we washed the apples, because just as important as choosing healthy snacks and the ingredients is preparing your food in a healthy way as well. So our food is washed. You should always wash anything that you get from the store or from a farm. That's an important practice. And then what we're doing today, we're just doing an apple snack baggie. This is a really great way to get little kids involved in food preparation, teaching them how important it is to wash their hands and wash their food. This is something that you can easily prep ahead of time in bulk quantity. All that's in my baggie is 1 graham cracker and a couple of little pretzel sticks. You could use regular pretzel sticks as well, or pretzels. There's no sugar. You don't need to add any sugar to this, because the saltiness in the pretzel, together with the graham cracker sweetness, makes it perfect. Now, I like cinnamon. My kids like cinnamon. So we're going to add a sprinkle of cinnamon. You want to add a sprinkle of cinnamon? You add a sprinkle of cinnamon. That can be your bag. Okay, perfect. Little sprinkle of cinnamon. Here's where it gets fun for the kids. Do you want to have fun doing this?
Sure.
You can either crunch it with your fist, or you can use my handy dandy rolling pin. Of course, I think my handy dandy rolling pin is pretty awesome, so I like doing that as well. Just crunch it up nice and fine. This, of course, is the part that the kids really enjoy the most. While she's doing that, you can even make it finer if you want, unless you like chunky pieces, either way. If you don't have an apple slicer like this one, we slice a lot of apples in my house, so we have one of these. If you don't, you can just use a knife. This one's super easy. It's just going to take the core right out, and then we have our apple slices. Now, I have chickens. Josie has chickens, ducks. We are not going to waste anything from this apple, because that core is going to go to her house or my house for our chickens. That looks perfect. But all we're going to do then is open our baggie, slip in our apple slices. Wish you guys could smell the apple, because you can even smell when an apple is nice and fresh like this right off the tree. We're going to pop that little seed out there. You don't want to get him in your teeth.
Now, I'm sure, Denise, if your kids and some kids are like my kids, you could take that peel off too.
You would take the
They
peel.
don't
Okay,
like the peel,
true.
right?
You can. In my house, my kids are good about eating the. Absolutely, but you can start by taking the peel off. I will remind you guys, and parents, I have your back on this. Some of the most important vitamins are in that peel, but I get it. It's the only way you get your kiddos to eat it is without the peel. So are you not going to try this?
No.
Okay, good.
I think
Good.
she got through it.
I'm really putting you on the spot. All right, you give that a try. So then it's nice, because if you're traveling somewhere, you can just grab that and go. You want one? Super easy, guys. So just graham cracker, couple pretzels, a little bit of cinnamon, fresh apples, and you're good to go. Thank you so much. There we go. All good to go.
So,
Sorry, I caught you with your...
I'm still eating my apple.
Go right ahead.
So let's walk over this way so I can be social distance. So we wanted to thank Denise for coming out to share this healthy snack with us. And that snack is themed for our health exhibit. What we want to do is impart to parents as well as kids about healthy eating, and by eating healthy, you can take charge of your health. Everything within our health exhibit will be the things that you can do, lifestyle changes, to get out and exercise, get more sleep, less screen time, eat a little bit healthy. Yeah, you can still have treats, but save them for treats, not an everyday thing. And little things that you can do to help you right now and later in life be a model of great health. So I'm just going to check in with the United Way and see how we're doing.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi.
That was incredible. I literally could not wipe the smile off my face. I loved getting that behind the scenes tour of a new exhibit in action. That was so cool. And seeing that you fabricate everything and all the effort and thought that goes into one exhibit is just really exciting. And thank you for the privilege of giving us that sneak peek. I can't wait. I love that it is a sneak peek, that there's still new things for folks to see. The brain with the black light, I think, is going to be so neat. And I loved seeing the prototypes for the heart valves. I mean, that is so exciting. What a fun place, not only to go and experience and learn, but to work, quite frankly. And again, thank you to Denise for being a special guest too. I was not expecting the way that it went with the crunching and the smushing. I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna make a butterfly with the clips. But when we crunched it, I was like, what a great idea, and how delicious would that be?
Absolutely.
So, is there anything else that you wanted to share, Ginny, about the Children's Museum? I mean, you guys, like you said, I'm so glad you shared those photos with us, because we really got to see all the work that you guys have been doing through COVID, and how you really have that flexibility and adaptability. We just were so proud to see you guys rise to the occasions with the STEM kits or the STEAM kits rather, and the website to help kids and parents when they were at home. I mean, talk about really stepping up and helping our community when they needed it most, and really and providing kids with a sense of well-being. I'm going to mute you. She's like, whoopsie. Anyway, we just really want to thank you. And would you mind sharing about the giveaway, the family membership, and what's all included in a family membership, and anything else that you could tell people who might be interested in coming to visit you guys?
Absolutely. So we donated to the raffle that the United Way is hosting for this fundraising event, a family membership to the Children's Museum. You get admission for your family. You also get 10% off of our in our gift shop. And many of our classes are included with the membership. If it's one that has an extra charge to it because we have a materials fee, you get a discount on that also. But you get to enjoy the Children's Museum anytime you want for an entire year. We are, like I said, we're open. We're fully functioning. We are open from Monday through Saturday, 10 to 4 every day. People seem to be very happy with our setup here. We do have some things a little bit different. We had to take some things off the floor, but we also try to replace them with other things to really have people enjoy themselves, feel that this is a safe environment, and just relax and have a little bit of normalcy during a really crazy time. Particularly with the weather getting a little bit rainier and a little bit colder, people are looking for some inside things to do, and we are a choice. And it is through the funding by donors like you in events like this and organizations like the Columbia Montour United Way that allows us to be functioning and being able to serve people even in the middle of a pandemic. We were still able to serve children in our region. So your donations go so far, and they mean so much to organizations like ours.
I thank you for that, for sharing that. And I did want to say that as a parent of a 5-year-old or soon to be 6-year-old, knowing that we have a safe place to go and that you guys are taking the precautions that you are, truly gives such reassurance and options for kids during the winter months, because as we did a lot outside, but now that the weather's changing, we just want to know that there's a safe place that we can take Lilu and make sure that she's gonna be enriched but also safe. So we just want to applaud your efforts and thank you for going that extra mile to ensure that our kids and our families have a place to go during these difficult times. So we just really appreciate you guys stepping up. And again, for offering the awesome giveaway. I can't imagine what that there's just so much, it says like it's a $95 value, but there's so much you can't really put a price tag on experiences and what we're able to give our kids, especially during this time. So we want to thank you for going live. Do you have any final thoughts or things that you want to share?
Just thank you all very much. Our community is wonderful. Like, even the accommodations that we have to go through to be able to be open, we're just so happy to be able to interact in an in-person way with our community. And in fact, our STEM kit program still is going on. We still are providing kits to area food banks and serving kids that way. It's just been a popular program that was something good that came out of the pandemic. So we're always looking for the silver lining, and there definitely is. But we are very happy to be back open, and it is so very vital, the support that we receive from the Columbia Montour United Way for us to be able to fulfill our mission.
Well, once again, thank you. And as we said, we are doing this Day of Giving to hopefully offer more support for our nonprofits during these challenging times. And every donation you can see is going right into local programming for our kids and bettering our community. So Ginny, thank you. Denise, thank you. All the staff at the Children's Museum. I don't know who your cameraman is, but thank him for us.
That's Eric.
We appreciate everyone and all their efforts. And my goodness, what a wonderful sneak peek. And thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Okay, bye, Ginny.
Bye-bye.
Well, that was such a treat, literally a treat. What a lovely snack. So I'm gonna be trying that later. I just did not expect it to go the way that it did. You learn something new every day. So onwards, we just want to say once again, thank you to Ginny and everyone at the Children's Museum for offering us that sneak peek and that exclusive preview. What a treat for us, what a treat for the audiences. I would like to, at this time, introduce back and welcome back to our Day of Giving, Adrienne Mail, our President and CEO, and she has our AmeriCorps Vista, Brianna Nichols, with her, joining us from our office live.
Hi. Well, I guess we'll have to get a little closer together than we thought.
I went to the wide angle.
I was like, oh, I'll have to carry her.
So welcome, Brianna. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
I know that I've been watching you participate, and you also made a donation earlier today. So thank you so much for that. We really appreciate it. I love it when our staff is like so excited that they decide to give. So, no pressure to anyone who becomes an employee, no pressure. So, Adrienne, you were going to share with us a little bit about Brianna's new role and working with our ALICE program and what our hopes for, and maybe you could also share what is ALICE. I know that's something that we know as United Way, but for new people who are just joining us, what is ALICE? What is an ALICE family?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm sorry, before we get on with our regular programming, Lisa's just sitting here, so I have to share. For anyone that was live streaming with us earlier, Dale has been telling us what an amazing cook he is and saying that he would bring apple dumplings. And don't you know that we got a special delivery here? We have zucchini bread and apple dumplings. So we're going to wrap these up tight. We might have already sampled the zucchini bread, which was amazing. But tomorrow, as an end of celebration, we will be enjoying those apple dumplings, all of us in the office together. So thank you to Dale. What a fun thing.
was so nice. Oh, Dale, we thank you so much for all the support. He's been tuning in quite frequently throughout this entire event and has been such a cheerleader. He was over in our United in Recovery and had some really beautiful things to share there. And I know we were teasing you about the apple dumplings, but boy, did he deliver, literally.
He sure did. And it's funny because we don't hear the door that often anymore. And I heard a male voice in the office, and I was like, what is happening? And it was an apple dumpling delivery, which is about as fun as it gets. So
I can't wait.
that's something to look forward to.
I'm really excited. I'm gonna have that for breakfast when I come in tomorrow.
I like that idea.
So thank you so much, Dale. What a treat. Your support, but then also feeding us the special treats. So thank you, Dale. And Adrian, did you want to tell us then about Alice and what is an Alice family?
Yes, absolutely. So Alice is actually, it's a new kind of national movement that United Way has really kind of bought into, not necessarily United Way worldwide, but United Way and for us, the United Way of Pennsylvania. So we are connected in not only with our worldwide organization, but also with our state organization that does a lot of advocating on the state level and also usually on national topics for us. So they're located in Harrisburg, United Way of Pennsylvania. And a few years ago, they brought us the idea of investing as a state in Alice. Said that Alice populations are very prevalent and it's something that we should look into. So our local board did look into Alice and said, yes, it's something that we should really get involved in. So Alice stands for Asset Limited, Income Constrained, and Employed. And so basically what that means is that there are, of course, families that are right here in Columbia and Montour counties that are living in poverty. I actually pulled up some stats, which I'll share in just a second. But then, those are kind of the people who are living, we think of poverty, at least on the socioeconomic spectrum as, low income, below. But then there's this whole other bracket of people who are employed. They're working, but they're asset limited. So they're working minimum wage jobs just over minimum wage. And you would be surprised, actually, jobs that you would think even would pay a little bit more, give you a little bit more wage. But it's not enough to meet the rent and the health insurance and all the other things that it takes to make a house go. So basically, what we have decided to invest in addition to making sure that people who are living in poverty have all of the things that they need to be stable and strong in our community, we've really wanted to look into this population of people who are asset limited but employed, because those are the people that are just making it work. Often they are not able to apply for any type of subsidies, any type of boost, any type of, especially childcare subsidies. So they're having to make it all on their own, but they're employed, but they're really just not quite making that money to make it to, to make ends meet at the end of the month. And I think probably for a lot of us, especially us nonprofit workers, we know that feeling of at the end of the month, like, oh, it's just not quite enough to keep going. So, you can imagine for people who are, really trying to make it happen on minimum wage, just how tough it is. So I'm only looking at my phone because I took some pictures, some snapshots. So in Montour County, we know that there are 11% of the population is living in poverty. But another 28% of the population is living in this asset limited, income constrained bracket. And the state average is actually 24%. So even in Montour County, that's up above the state average. Now, Columbia County, you might be surprised. They have a higher percent of people, 16% of people living in poverty. The state average is 13%. But 23% of people are living in that Alice population. Now, these are 2017 numbers. We're hoping to get some refresh on the data pretty soon. But from that information, we can tell that a large portion of our population are living right at or below that poverty level. And just, even if they are working, they're not making enough to pay for the really high rents, of course, all of the utilities that come along with it, and then all of the things that it takes to make a household run. So that's the Alice population, and there is specific programming around Alice that we have been learning about to really kind of bolster this group of people. So over the next couple of years, you'll be hearing a lot more about Alice from us. And then also, hopefully, we'll be able to invest in some programming too.
Woo, I'm coming. My video is just taking a minute to start, but I'll go ahead and ask a question while when it decides that it's gonna give me my camera back. But in addition to the Alice program, I mean, I know that what's exciting for me is just seeing how far you've come as a leader in this organization, having these visions and having these inspirational moments where you just decide that we're gonna do this, we're gonna invest, and it just happens. I mean, I really truly think that that's what happened with the United in Recovery program. And when did you start? When did United in Recovery really kind of come together and start? Like, do you have a sense of like how many years ago that was?
Yeah, I'll say it quick because I know we're out of time, but that's actually a funny story because that happened in 2016. And I went to a meeting to just learn a little bit more about what was happening in Lycoming County around their opioid coalition. And the leader of Greater Susquehanna Valley's United Way, who is also a real force to be reckoned with in her community, Joanne Troutman, stood up and said, both Adrian and I will be starting opioid coalitions in our community. And I'm always on board for whatever happens, but I was not, I didn't know that that's how we'd be spending the next 5 years, although I'm so glad that we have. But yes, that was very much we're doing this and we're jumping in with both feet kind of thing. And that is how it happens here, because that's how we make community change. You know, when you see a problem, you can't just sit by and say, geez, someone should do that. That's our job. We're doing it.
Yeah, and I think that's really a testimony. Like United in Recovery is an example of a program that just 5 years ago wasn't even in existence, and we just heard all these beautiful recovery stories just a few hours ago. And having Olivia with all of the work that she's doing within the community and all of the events and the resources that United in Recovery is providing for the recovery community, I can only imagine what the Alice program will be doing in 5 years' time. And so that is a very exciting notion. And again, a reason to give during our day of giving, because as we identify more things with Alice, you know, the one thing that always strikes me is how Alice is literally teetering on the brink of really ruin without without mincing words, one emergency away from losing their homes or losing employment because a car breaks down and then they can't get to work. It's like one emergency or life event that happens, and they do happen, and there's just no safety net for anyone. And that's, you know, for the Alice population, that is so stressful inducing. And to know that there's a program out there where if that were to happen and they had a place to go is so important. So I'd love to talk about Bree and what Bree is going to be focused on with Alice, and why we're talking about Alice during our education and mentorship segment, because Alice does have a bit of an umbrella arch to it. It's basic and emergency needs, but it's also what Bree's going to be working on.
So before I start with the after school program that's going to be happening, hopefully in spring 2021, I will want to introduce myself. So I'm Brianna Nichols. I'm the new AmeriCorps Vista, working with United Way. A little about myself. I grew up in the scouting, so all my life, so from little until now. So I have earned both the highest benching awards. So it was silver and then the summit. Anyways, I have lived in Bloomsburg all my life, except for my first year at college, which was out in Western PA. And then I transferred to Bloom, and now I'm a social work major in my last semester, interning, but continuing with United Way after I graduate. So with the after school program. Again, as I mentioned, it will be an after school program we're shooting for middle school age students. Again, in the spring of 2021, for at least once a month. And we plan to offer different learning opportunities at different organizations and businesses around the Bloomsburg area, either in person or virtually. And these opportunities can be a presenter talking about a specific topic like mental health, to learning about a certain career path, and even learning how to play a new instrument, and so many different other opportunities. Of course, safety is our number one priority. So during this uncertain time, so if we cannot meet in person, we will be holding a virtual event. So we can't wait to start this program up and with the help of some of our partner agencies.
Awesome. Yes, and we have been thinking about some type of after-school program for many years here at the United Way. We have had actually a number of social work students do their practicums with us on what it would look like to have an after-school program, doing research on what age groups, going in and talking to kids and talking with some teachers and guidance counselors. And we feel like we've done the research, and then as soon as we kind of got Bree on board and said let's go for it, we actually have an amazing donor that's supporting her position, who is really invested in in this after school program, and knowing that kids after school need somewhere to go. It really actually kind of falls right in with the United and Recovery work that we do. We're in a rural area. There's not a ton to do, especially for middle schoolers who their friends aren't driving yet. What are those kids doing after school? Sports isn't all the time. It's not for everybody. So we really said to ourselves, like, yes, like now is the time. And literally right then is when COVID kind of became a serious issue in our community. So we're fighting through it. It's not been the right time to reach out to schools and start new partnerships. Unfortunately, everyone is, just got kind of one very specific thing on their minds. But we're hoping by the spring, maybe we'll have a clear sense of what we can do. And by that time, if we're not able to do something in person that's safe, just like Bree said, we're interested in doing something targeted at middle schoolers, again, who just really kind of need that additional help getting to see one another and spend time together. So we also have a whole wonderful community full of resources and great partner agencies. So we really have a vision of a community where kids could walk and get some homework help, walk to the YMCA and use the workout center, walk up to the library, walk to the children's museum. It's all within a mile stretch of one another. So we feel like it's very doable. Oop, you are muted again.
Yes, I'm unmuting myself. That just sounds so exciting. And Bree, welcome to the team. It's already been such a joy to have you. And you know what? Never despise the small beginnings. We might be a little thwarted by COVID, but it's a great planning opportunity. And like we said earlier, I can only imagine where this program is going to be in 5 years. So welcome and thank you for joining us and for carrying the torch for our after school programming and our hopes for what that's going to be in the future. I want to remind everyone again that if you haven't already, now would be a great time to do that donation. We are so close to hitting our goal. Our goal is $5,000 for our first day of giving. We went with a little bit of an ambitious choice, but hey, we're go-getters here at United Way, and I really do believe that we're going to cross that finish line at 6 o'clock when we have our end of event celebration. So we want to invite all of you to join us at 6 o'clock, and we will be celebrating. So make sure you wear your party hats and join us, and we will be celebrating all of the hard work that United Way and our partner agencies have been doing. This really has been a day of celebration and honoring all, like you said, Adrienne, we have such great partner agencies. And I would love for you to share a little bit more about what partner agencies we have, perhaps specifically some of our local libraries that are really addressing our education and mentorship programs. I will speak for a little personal testimony. When my partner and his daughter entered my life, we rediscovered our local library, and I was like, this place is amazing and it's free. So from someone who has recently refallen in love with our local libraries, I would love to highlight our partner agencies and have you share a little bit about them.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have so many agencies actually that do work in education and mentorship. So important, and and all for really different reasons. We are actually supporting 4 local libraries now, which we are really proud to do. Each one of them is special for kind of different reasons, but all because of the work that they're doing in our community. So the Bloomsburg Public Library, Thomas Beaver Free Library, the Orangeville Public Library, and the Columbia County Traveling Library are all partner agencies of the United Way. Many of them doing summer camps specifically for kids, really making sure that they're connecting them with reading. We don't think about it, but still in our community, we have people who are not graduating high school and who are unable to read. And I think we could all just only imagine what it would be like to go through life without that ability. Very different life without the ability to read. So super important. All of those programs too during COVID have really stepped up and tried to still make reading accessible, and books accessible and programs accessible for the community. We also, at the Bloomsburg Public Library, have fully funded for years a program of mobile hotspots. So we know that for people connecting to the internet in their homes can also be a really huge issue. So some people, they need to, go and, for some people it's homework related, and we're experiencing that right now with kids going virtual, another really serious problem. But for years, people have not been able to have the internet in their home. And so at Bloomsburg Public Library, just like you're able to rent a book, you're able to rent a mobile hotspot. And that's been a program funded by the United Way for at least the last couple of years. I will also mention that we have 2 great development centers that we fund, the Danville Child Development Center, and the Columbia Child Development Program, both 4-star, very high quality early childhood education. Another part of Bree's AmeriCorps Vista kind of contract talks about the importance of early childhood education, and by the age of 5, your kiddo's brain is creating all of those pathways, is really very fully developed. So if we can get kids early and we can get those pathways created, and we can kind of spark a lifelong learning passion in them really early, we're setting our kids up for success. And so those 2 programs are one great way to do it. We also are very proud of supporting the YMCA and their preschool program, another high quality, not 4-star, but another high quality program. So some really great ones. And then also we support, oh goodness, Big Brothers Big Sisters, which has had a little bit less of a presence in our area of late. They've struggled, with kind of changing. They've definitely struggled with COVID, but changing times. But still think that mentorship is proven to be one of the things that really helps people along in their education journey. So we know that mentorship is a really important piece, and is another part of the after school program that we're really trying to make sure is an important piece. So some really great agencies. We also, a lot of those programs, like I said, do summer programming. That's also very education focused. But it's actually the second biggest, with, as I said earlier, the basic and emergency needs is where we send about 50% of our dollars, but the next highest is the education and mentorship, because we know that it's just that important.
Well, that's wonderful. I was going to share a video from the Bloomsburg Public Library. We're going to attempt this screen sharing again. I got some IT support from our live stream platform. If it doesn't work, we will just link this video in our chat below, but we're going to give it the good old college try and try it again. So Adrian, would you please just let me know if this is coming through, if you guys can hear it.
Sure.
And I will make this solo, and I'm going to share this, and then you can tell me if you can hear it. I haven't pushed play yet. Can you hear it?
Oh, if it was a little louder, we could.
The Bloomsburg Public Library is open to many people, not just Bloomsburg, but the entire community around Bloomsburg. We have services for young.
I don't think that worked out as well. So I will say that I really do enjoy this platform, but the one thing that they need to work on a little bit is that screen sharing app. That's not working out so well for us today, but that's okay. We're going to put those videos in the chat for you to peruse at your leisure. They really are beautiful stories. It talks about the literacy programs that they have and all that they're doing. And again, Adrian already was highlighting some of their newer initiatives. So please just check out them in our chat box. I'll be linking those in below in just a few moments. And Adrian, do you just want to send us off as to why would it be important to be giving to either the ALICE program or giving for the education and mentorship programming that we do at the United Way?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think really it comes down to the same thing. It's all about supporting families and, and children in our region. And when you give to United Way, that, that's where we're sending the money. That's where our energy is invested. We've even gotten a whole new employee. We're that serious about it. And so, for the families, for people who have been affected by COVID, and for the agencies, every nonprofit has been negatively affected by COVID, but especially in childcare. So hard hit. It's just really been a struggle. So we support those organizations, and we ask you to give right now. We're really close to our goal, ambitious or not. We think it's a goal that we can hit. So we will we'll ask you, everybody, one last time to consider giving to the United Way in our day of giving. We're really appreciative of it. And, Danielle, you've done a wonderful job today of highlighting all of the programming and all of the things that we're supporting here at United Way. Your dollars are going to make a difference in all of those areas. So consider giving today.
Well, thank you so much, Adrian and Bree, for joining us live from our lovely office. I miss you guys.
You miss the apple dumplings.
I do. I wanted them fresh, darn it. No, they'll be delicious. I'm sure they will be just as delicious tomorrow as they would have been the minute they walked through the door and then into my mouth. So thank you everyone for joining us for our education and mentorship segment. And we want to thank once again the Bloomsburg Children's Museum for that awesome sneak peek and exclusive behind the scenes preview of their upcoming exhibit. And I love how a lot of these partner agencies actually, there's a lot of crossover, you know, because the museum is one of our education and mentorship partners who is doing an education on health and wellness. So as you can see, these core impact areas that the United Way advocates and supports are really, truly building blocks to a healthy community, and something that I think anyone can get behind. So once again, we want to thank all of our donors, everyone who's contributed so far. We are so close to our goal, and we very much look forward to sharing that with you. We are almost, as I said, at the halfway mark. Oh, you know what? I think the share screen, I'm going to get this share screen if it kills me. So I think you should see on your screen right now is, did it come through? Ooh, okay. Scrolly, share screen. Here we go. And I think it's there. Yay! So thank you, Donna. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Brianna, who's also joining us in our office. The Ideas Studio, thank you for your donation. That's a new one that just came in. So we're so close to hitting that $5,000 mark. Thank you, Allison, for giving, and Melvin. We only have 1 hour left, you guys. So let's cross this finish line and let's see us get there. What an exciting day. What a moment. And thank you again for joining our Day of Giving. And thank you, Adrienne. Thank you, Brianna, for joining us and sharing. And we will see everyone at 6 p.m. During our end of event celebration. So thank you all, and we'll see you at 6.